All right. So I'm going to show you guys the title of this is Jamie Foxx, Axl Rose, Sean Combs among VIPs named in sex abuse suits before New York law expired. So it says New York Adult Survivors Act allows survivors to file claims after statute of limitations expired. So this came out 2 days ago. Now, it says a number of Hollywood stars, including Jamie Foxx, Bill Cosby, Cuba Gooding Jr., were all accused of sexual abuse last week as a sexual assault survivors filed lawsuits before the New York Adult Survivors Act officially expired.
I have to pop out real quick, JB, and come back in. Eric said my mic isn't. I'll be right back.
Okay. It says Foxx allegedly sexually assaulted Jane Doe in 2015 at Catch NYC restaurant in a claim filed in a New York court on Wednesday. In documents obtained by Fox News, Doe, the plaintiff, claimed the Academy Award winner was, quote unquote, intoxicated when he grabbed by her arm and proceeded to assault her in the back area of a rooftop lounge. I'm sorry, what was that, Sabs?
I was just going to say, number one, just because he's intoxicated, like intoxication is not an excuse, just in case, he tries to use that as an excuse. But go ahead.
Of course. It says the complaint stated that Doe and a friend were seated in a one table away from the Ray actor who was having drinks with restaurateur Mark Birnbaum. Doe recalls crowds of patrons gathering and being ushered away from the table throughout the evening, but she and her friend were never asked to move tables. Axl Rose looks horrible. My God.
He looks bad. That's drugs will do that to you, JB.
Ugh. Gosh. He looks like ice cream as a monster. Anyway, so after Doe and her friend asked for photos with Foxx, the complaint alleged that Foxx proceeded to grab plaintiff by her arm and pulled her to the back area of the rooftop, end quote. Once more, secluded area, Doe claimed Foxx placed both of his hands on her waist before moving them up her crop top where he began to, and I will let y'all read that. Okay? Because this is YouTube. This is a family show. Okay, let's go. Says the suit alleged plaintiff was caught off guard and attempted to step away from Foxx. Plaintiff noticed defendant John Doe, a security guard of one of the defendants some distance away who saw what was happening but walked further away. According to the suit, Foxx then allegedly proceeded to slide his hands into the plaintiff's pants. Now, sorry, go ahead, Sabs. You want to say something?
So I just want to add, please note that part there, guys, because that's the important piece about this particular situation with Jamie Foxx. The fact that there were people who saw. So there were witnesses in reference to this particular, allegation. So that's important for people to really understand, because the thing is, they can always go to those people and ask them, hey, such and such, you were there. And I also would not be surprised if there were security cameras placed on the top of that roof deck, because I've been to lounges before that have roof decks and there are security cameras usually on the roof deck. So if there's security cameras, even the cameras may have caught that. So this happened in public. This did not happen in a private room where there were no other people around. There were witnesses. There were people who walked by and saw. So just keep that in mind.
Oh, great point, Sabs. So it says the alleged, this is Fox's representative. He said the alleged incident never happened. In 2020, the individual filed a nearly identical lawsuit in Brooklyn. That case was dismissed shortly after. The claims are no more viable today than they were then. We are confident that they will be dismissed again. And once they are, Mr. Foxx intends to pursue claim for malicious prosecution against this person and her attorneys for refiling this frivolous action. That says something to me, though, Sabs. The fact that she filed it once, it got dismissed, but then she filed it again. Because my thing is, if you know that they dismissed it, but then you can refile again, it's like, If you're just out for money, you would have just given up by then, because you don't want to go through those fees and court costs.
Right. That's right. But she filed it again.
But she filed it again. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I'm just looking at it from this perspective. This I find interesting too. It says, joining the slew of celebrities named in the explosive suits in New York City is New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who Camp vehemently denies the allegations. So even Eric Adams was accused.
Right. And the reason why all these allegations are coming out all at once right now is because of that new law in New York. The deadline is, I believe, at the end of December. There's a deadline in December that for adult survivors, you can still file for sexual assault. So that's why there's so many of them coming out quickly. So I just, again, none of this surprises me. Again, I know we're going to get to Diddy, but the Jamie Foxx one, the thing that is really telling is the fact that this happened in public. There were witnesses, and I would not be surprised if there weren't security cameras on that rooftop. And if there were security cameras, then that could basically just settle all of this.
Now, just as a correction, that law actually expired last week. So
okay.
Yeah, it was last week, and that's why everybody was rushing to submit their lawsuits by the deadline. So this is when we had the influx of all these different famous, A-list stars that are just now, oh my God, I can't, they're like, oh my God, they caught off guard because now they're being accused by this law, which this law actually allows you to do a civil case beyond the statutes of limitations typically. So because of that, now they're putting out these lawsuits and saying, well, this person did this to me this many years ago, and it's, for some it could be money, for some it could be just putting the information out there, for some it could be both. Two things can be true at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that, are these things credible? Are they not? Well, that's for a court or a jury to decide. Or if the person wants to settle, then they settle, but then that also makes them look some kind of way.
Right.
So that's what the allegations against Jamie Foxx are.